I don't even know why I'm delaying. We need to get into this. I already missed a stream, and who knows how long my wakefulness will last. March 22nd, 9:14 p.m. Gatewater Hotel, Corita's hotel room.
It's past 9 p.m. already, isn't it? I wonder if Mr. Edgeworth has already found Mystic Maya.
These things take time. I'd say probably not. The police are professionals, Pearls. They'll find her. So don't you worry. If we can win a not guilty verdict tomorrow, then everything will be okay. Time for the marathon to the end of the game, Toads. Hey, Katie. Yeah. No, I don't think so. It should be safe and easily doable to finish this final investigation day, and I'm not even going to guarantee that.
You're right.
Talk about the real killer with this small child. So the real person who killed Mr. Corito was...
That assassin, Mr. Shelley the Killer, right?
And the card Miss Andrews found at the crime scene seems to be proof of that. But if that's the case, then a new question comes to mind. Who was the one that hired the killer to begin with? Who is his client?
You mean, who asked for the murder?
That person didn't want to dirty their own hands in blood. But whoever this client is, they're still a killer. The assassin's client.
Who could have hired the assassin? Do you think it was Miss Andrews?
I wonder. If she was the client, then why go through the effort to stab the knife into the corpse herself?
But if Miss Andrews wasn't the client, then... No, it can't be.
Matt Ongard himself? Was it Matt?
If Mr. Ongard really did hire the assassin,
Then he's not innocent at all. Far from it, he would be guilty of the crime.
but it can't be Mr. Ongard, right? I mean, when we first talked with him...
Mr. Ongard, I'd like to ask you one more question. Did you kill Mr. Juan Corrida? Alright, just so we're clear, dude, I didn't kill anyone, and that includes Juan Corrida, okay? I arrived a sad child. Hey, Captain. I didn't see any Cyclops at that time. Actually, that reminds me.
Did you remember something, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, something Miss Andrews said at the trial today. She said something interesting. See, he's so trustworthy. I mean, look, he said he didn't kill anyone. And, I mean, Edgeworth's record so far, as a prosecutor we've seen, is 0 for 3. It's not like Edgeworth clearly only came back after an entire year because he finally had hard confirmation that someone was guilty. And he had to come back now so he could finally get a win over Phoenix. No, that'd be crazy.
So what is this interesting thing?
Oh, that's right. You didn't hear it, did you, Pearls? Oh, geez, what did I give you for Miss Andrews?
Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year, and if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway. It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Mr. Ongard's secret? What is this secret?
I don't know yet. But for now, let's think about it this way. Mr. Corrida was going to reveal this secret. That means Mr. Ongard had plenty of motive to have Mr. Kurita silenced. Which means we have to meet with Mr. Ongard. There's no way around it now. Alright. Hallway. March 22nd, Gatewater Hotel, hallway.
Wow, it's really getting late, isn't it, Mr. Nick? I should have been asleep like 2 hours ago.
Okay, Pearl, it's only 9 o'clock. You need to be in sleep by 7.
Actually, it's 6. My mom was really, really firm about that. But I would be a rebel and stay up till 7.
Yeah, it's past 9 p.m. already. But we still have some things to prepare for tomorrow's trial. It's still a matter of the secret Mr. Kurita held about Mr. Ongard. And Miss Andrews' real intentions. There are 2 things I must know tonight.
But aren't visiting hours over at the detention center?
I'm sure we'll think of something, Pearls. Don't you worry. I could try thinking about it now, but why would I? I'm Phoenix Wright. I always fly by the seat of my pants. Time to break in. March 22nd, Gatewater Hotel, Viola Hall. Fuck, why? No, Phoenix, let her leave. We don't need more old bag. See, this is why the recurring characters, although I know some people like old bag enough, but they also get annoying because it's all the goddamn time with them. Drops from the chandelier. It's simple, become her lawyer and represent her. Hey, wait.
Oh, what is it, whippersnapper? All I know is nothing that has anything to do with you is ever good. Like just now, I was handed this strange device for who knows what reason. And I was told to use it to search the whole hotel.
That's the bug sweeper, isn't it? The one Gumshoe made.
I don't know, and frankly, I don't care. But the request came from Edgy Poo, so...
Edgeworth?
And he said...
Oh, God, I hate when I do this to myself.
If you feel angry, direct your anger at that unsophisticated lawyer. So, I'm going to feel free to direct all my anger towards you.
Ugh, gee, thanks a bundle, Edgeworth. What a pal you are. I guess we'll talk to her some.
This is absolutely top secret, so you had better keep it to yourselves. I heard they found a spy camera hidden in one of the presents.
Very interesting.
I'm sure it was. You know, it was to catch poor Juan in the middle of a scandalous meeting. Scandalous? What's that? It means, well, you know, that gossip that's been going around about my dear Juan. How he's been taking Miss Adrian Andrews to Pound Town and doing unspeakably lewd acts with her. Old bag, she's an 8-year-old girl. Back in my day, by the time you were 8 years old, you'd already seen every animal on the farm doing it. At least twice. Sorry, I digress.
Oh, you mean that thing about Miss Andrews?
But I'm sure she must have had some reason for getting close to Mr. Kurita. I'll let you in on another secret, youngin'. I know who planted that spy camera. And they even held hands.
I'm trying to think of what must have really pushed that idea of, like, maybe just a very old, obvious joke that's always been independently reinvented again and again. But that's always an old standby. It's like, oh, look, they're holding hands. One of the most adult things you can show. people. Oh,
It was that obnoxious, puffy-haired photographer girl. The nerve of some people. Spying on people by herself, as if I wouldn't want to see it for myself, too.
wow. The alien actually admitted her true intentions for a change.
I don't know what you're thinking exactly, but I can bet that it's nothing good.
But I didn't say anything. Juan and Adrian.
So you want to know about Juan and that manager, right? Actually, as I hear it, they were something of a refreshing pair, those two.
Oh?
I tell you, Juan really welcomed that manager with open arms, I heard. That manager? Who are you talking about? You don't know. That manager woman Juan had. It's a shame she killed herself, though.
Old bag. You don't even know that Pearl knows that. She's an 8-year-old girl. Don't just... Oh, you're talking about Miss Celeste Impacts. Miss Andrews' mentor, right?
Yes, that's the one. That Celeste girl. She was supposed to get married, you know.
Married? You mean to Mr. Kurita?
Ah, really? You young kids today don't know anything, do you? That girl, Celeste, killed herself 3 days after their marriage announcement.
3 days after their marriage announcement? What in the... So much old bag. It really is. Less suicide.
Why would Miss Impacts want to kill herself? She was going to get married. Oh, well, that's because she was going to get married, and your life basically ends then, young child. She was thrown away, you see, by Juan.
What?
But they were going to get married, right? They promised each other, right?
She's probably the most reoccurring witness other than Larry, I assume. Ah. I mean, Larry, Oldbag, and Lada are the 3, right? I don't remember the 3rd game well enough. Because Larry takes off from this game. But Oldbag is in... Oldbag's in all 3, right? I know Lada's at least in the first 2. And you have investigations, has some of them recur too. Also, poor Pearl. Wait until she learns about divorces. Pearl would be devastated to know how high the divorce rate is.
They held a grand announcement session, but 3 days later, Juan suddenly canceled their marriage.
Is that true?
It was in the weekly magazines.
She's not in the 3rd game, I believe. Should be good. We need to take a break from these characters at some point.
But why? Why did he do that? That was not in the magazines, unfortunately.
I see.
That night, after Juan called off the wedding, that manager, Celeste, killed herself.
How terrible. Yo, hey Donnie. You came in on a kind of dark little part, but that's okay. Just a funny coincidence.
I wonder what happened between those two.
I always show up at the worst times. If it makes you feel better, at least I don't think we need to see Director Hottie again. I hope. Do I have anything to present to you? Probably not, right? Yeah, these are the same. Okay. John Doe, the butler of On Guard Mansion. For some reason, I get the feeling we've met before, but he looks so trustworthy. Alright, I'm just gonna assume I don't need to do anything else with her, so we can move on. March 22nd, Gatewater Hotel lobby. On that night, there must have been at least a few hundred people here. I guess the police are done with their questioning and investigating. Looks like things here in the lobby have finally calmed down. I guess thank you for that, Phoenix. Wait a second, I don't have the bug sweeper, do I? Okay. I might need to come back and... Oh, God, I'm probably going to come back and talk to the old bag at some point and get that. March 22nd, Wright Company Law Offices. It looks like sunshine outside, but it's past 9 p.m., so...
It doesn't look like Mr. Scruffy Detective is here.
Well, he's out there with that camera asking around at all the electronics stores.
Then I'll make some salad for him for dinner.
Looks like Pearls really appreciates what Gumshoe is doing for us.
Mr. Nick?
Yes?
Where is the lettuce?
I don't think I've ever bought lettuce before. Phoenix. So, I'm not actually a huge salad fan. Although I've come to the point that I actually like to have it occasionally, like every week or two. It's also a nice, easy thing to do. But also, like, obviously, this is Japan. But even then, they still have plenty of sandwiches that occasionally use, like lettuce still gets used. Although, this might not have been... I'm saying that. What the hell would this have been? Because this probably actually isn't salad in the original, right? So it is like a little dish that they would have had Pearl doing, and then he wouldn't have anything for. Maybe like miso soup, and he's like, I've never gotten miso before. Because like, in like Japanese mealtime, one of the classic things they have is like, they'll have rice, and they'll have miso soup. But I could definitely see Phoenix being the type who he's never actually really cooked, so he wouldn't do something very basic like that. Is that new Gatewater sign across the street? It's made with UVC strip lights. Phoenix, what is your diet? This is the weak and frail version of the superior cabbage. If you look at it wrong, it wilts into goo. That is kind of fair. I'm trying to think if I've ever actually had cabbage. Like, I'll have it in some, like, things as an ingredient in them, but I don't think I've ever actually, like, eaten cabbage regularly. I like lettuce. But lettuce does go pretty quickly, too. Sorry, that... No. Just like the idea of Phoenix is like, I've never bought lettuce, vegetables. Oh, you know what? So if they said salad for lettuce, it probably still is a vegetable, right? I'm probably thinking the wrong way for this. So it's probably more like daikon, maybe? Like she's talking about a radish, maybe? And make coleslaw and use that in place of lettuce for chicken salads. Oh.
Oh, I guess I have to give up on making a salad then.
I guess the lack of lettuce is kind of a problem. Also, poor Gumshoe. He desperately needs stuff other than instant noodles on his diet, and yet Phoenix cannot provide it for him in this moment. Detention Center. March 22nd, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. Visiting hours ended a few hours ago. Looks like we're not going to get a chance to talk with Mr. Ongard tonight.
But, isn't what we have to ask very important?
Yeah, but I don't think that matters to the guard. Okay, we need to have a way to... That's fine. Maybe something here. March 22nd, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department.
It feels sort of tense in here, doesn't it, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, it does. I wonder if something happened.
You're Mr. Ongard's lawyer, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, we finally found just the person we've been looking for. A real decisive witness.
A decisive witness? You mean for the On-Guard case?
We're taking the witness's statement right now. Gotta hand it to Mr. Edgeworth.
What's Edgeworth up to now?
Who is this witness?
I think you know this person quite well, Mr. Lawyer.
Mr. Nick?
Between the kidnapper's demand and now this, I can't see any way to win here.
Oh yeah, Mr. Edgeworth wanted me to tell you something.
He did?
Even though visiting hours are long over at the detention center, he wanted me to grant you special permission, so there you go.
What?
I've already called them so they know. Go on, go talk to your heart's content.
Thank you very much.
This is such good news, Mr. Nick.
Go talk to your heart's content. Sounds like the police are pretty sure they have tomorrow's trial in the bag. Lettuce, cabbage, kale, broccoli, cauliflower are all cultivations of the same plant. But man, those cultivations make all the difference. I did not know that. That's very interesting, because yeah, that's a big difference there. Wait, it's all Brassica oleracea? Oleracea? Might be oleracea or oleracea. My Latin for scientific names is not so good. Pulls out gun. Always has been. Okay. Well, let's go back to the detention center then. I'm glad I came here so that we knew we couldn't do this. Until I went to the police and they told me that, in fact, Edgeworth said we had permission. Which means this guard was like, you don't have permission. We come back. Yes, we did. Look, man, it's been a long day. I'm here overnight. I just don't want to deal with it. We wanted to break in. March 22nd, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. I'm sure they must have transferred Miss Andrews here by now. So that means that both Mr. Ongard and Miss Andrews are in this detention center. Now then, whose story do I want to hear? Probably Adrian first? I assume this is going to end on Ongard. Oh, it's you. I'm sorry to be visiting at such a late hour, but there are a few questions I absolutely have to ask you tonight. Me? I thought your client was Matt. I'm sure Miss Andrews knows something. She can't be clueless about this secret Mr. Carita had on Mr. Ongard. Matt Ongard. I'd like to ask you about Matt Ongard, if you don't mind. Mr. Wright, you still don't know, do you? The real him, I mean. You seem to bear a lot of resentment towards Mr. Ongard. If that's the case, then why did you become his manager? And why would you become intimate with his rival? That has nothing to do with this case. Nothing. About Miss Celeste Impacts. I had
finally put her death behind me. And now, thanks to you, it's all come back to the surface.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I was shocked by her suicide. And it's true that when I heard the rumor that Juan was the one who had hidden her suicide note, I began to draw close to him.
Man, look at that scandalous just hint. A touch of feet pic we get there at the bottom. For those real degenerate people who will take anything they can get, even if it's attached to a picture of suicide. Damn you, Capcom.
I wanted to get her suicide note back, and to burn it.
You wanted to burn it? But why? Jeez, Chris, you sound like that latest Overwatch post. Oh, yeah?
I didn't want it to spread like just another piece of gossip, but I never held any murderous intent towards Juan. I would never do something so stupid.
The suicide note, huh? I wonder what it said. Why frame him? Why did you try to frame Mr. Ongard?
That's simple. Because he's the killer, that's why. Isn't it the duty of every good citizen to inform the police?
But there had to be another way.
The police are excellent at doing their... Like, come on. How is Phoenix saying this with a straight face? The police are excellent at doing their job, so they'd figure it out, right? It's Phoenix. Nicky Phoenix. My dude, he has a sense of irony. Also, what is the pun with Celeste impacts? Celeste rhymes with rest, impacts, and peace. Celeste impacts. Is it because Celeste rhymes with rest? I was just thinking that the Celeste part was just meant to be that. I mean, I'm pretty sure what the impacts is meant to be. Like, it's supposed to be rest in peace anyways, but... Which is pretty dark, but she does, like... You know, it feels weird to say. For games like this, like, when it's going to be murders and stuff like that, there's a certain level of, like, characters just need to die anyways. But I am tempted to say what happens with Celeste and Pax as a character is really fridging. Like, it feels like it goes a little bit past just, well, you need to have sacrificial NPCs. It feels a little bit pernicious with her. Her full name might be a play on Celestial Impact, referencing the two stars, Matt Ongard and Juan Carita's rivalry against the other. Oh, I could see that too. Celeste Impacts, Celestial Impact. Yeah, because she's between them from the wiki. That seems as valid as anything else. Some of them are, well, let's just say they can't all be, oh, what was his name in 6? I don't remember how they spelled it. But they just made it peace, love, and understanding. Peace, love, and understanding, or something. I don't remember what it is.
Yes, they're so good that they couldn't figure out the real truth behind Celeste's death.
Miss Andrews?
Well, I know you're not the type of person to do something without a reason. So please, tell me why you did what you did. I mean, most of the victims' names tend to be basically John Dead guy, so this is also true. That sounds like a Kojima character. I could see that as well. I think there's like a real good one in the final case of the first investigations one. I think now that's hard for me now. I need to. If I ever talk about that, I'm gonna be try to be really careful because I did power through that entire collection, but the second game is still one of those ones people haven't had a ton of time to play it yet. Especially if, say, someone's streaming them and going through the first one. So please, tell me why you did what you did. Revenge. Let me take a sip. Also, if you haven't highlighted, please do so, because I need to catch up on all of that.
Huh? Did you say something just now?
A psych lock, huh?
Don't you understand yet? You're not my lawyer. To be honest, you're more like my enemy. But...
I'm sure I just heard Miss Andrews say... revenge. Do I have anything else I can... Alright, let's see what we need. I don't think we have it, but maybe this is more a flavor thing. I don't know how involved this last day is, or if it's more like a dramatic thing. Why frame him? Can you please tell me why you framed Mr. Ongard for the murder?
Revenge.
I've already told you countless times. It's because I thought Matt was the killer.
No, that's not it. I know you have a personal reason to dislike Mr. Ongard. Miss Andrews, you may think I didn't hear it, but I know you said something earlier. You said revenge.
So you are saying I was taking my revenge out on Matt, and that's why? What an absurd idea. I don't have anything I want to take revenge for.
Miss Andrews, a woman who lives by being dependent on other people. There is something or someone in her past that would make her take revenge. I mean... Or am I supposed to put Juan here? This is very general. Feels like that's something we already discussed. Okay. You have so much HP, it's fine. I hate losing HP in these games.
Celeste.
There's only one catalyst that could cause such strong feelings, and even revenge. And that is Miss Impax's suicide.
What are you trying to say? Celeste was Juan's manager. On top of that, the one who hid her suicide note was also Juan. What does all this have to do with Matt?
You're right. You haven't mentioned him yet. But for you to hate Mr. Ongard, it would mean that he must have had some relation to Miss Impax and her suicide. Trying to do a no-hit run, not counting the lashings. Well, I've already failed, because I've already taken some damage.
Can you explain to me this relation between Celeste and Matt?
Okay. I think I need to find actually something else for this. I don't think I have enough evidence yet. I should investigate and gather some more clues before I try again. How is Juan Garita 21? It looks like he should be hosting Cosmos. Yeah. Do I talk to On Guard now? Now then, whose story do I want to hear?
Dude, it's Mr. Wright. I hope you can get me off the hook tomorrow. I'm counting on you.
I hope so too. Zoomer's aging meme. Edgeworth just dropped a bombshell on me by saying that Juan Carita was killed by an assassin, and that the assassin's client is this man, Matt Ongard.
What's wrong?
Mr. Ongard, there's something I must know with 100% certainty.
You seem kinda different. You're totally not like your usual lawyer dude self.
Matt's secret. About the press conference?
You mean the one where Juan was gonna dress up as the Nickel Samurai?
Yeah, I had a little more about it from Miss Andrews.
It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
Could you please fill me in on what this secret is? Please? That's a lot of psych locks. That is, in fact, the most psych locks? I don't think they ever do more than 5. I think, if I recall correctly, there is like one more level of psych lock beyond this. But I don't think it's more of them. That is how they do that, if I recall correctly. It's been quite a while, though. He's a witch!
Mr. Nick, don't tell me.
Psych locks. You said a secret, right? But I don't have any idea what it is. Do you, dude?
Secret's how to cancel his cellular provider. Juan and Adrian. Did you know about Mr. Carita and Miss Andrews' relationship?
Well, it's all over the tabloids, dude. But I don't know any of the details, if that's what you mean. Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I don't care what Juan did with his life.
Miss Andrews, she had a purpose in mind when she started seeing Mr. Carita. Her mentor was Mr. Carita's manager, and Miss Andrews was going to get Miss Celeste Impacts' suicide note from him.
Celeste?
Does that jog any memories?
Dude, I suddenly just got totally hungry. You up for a pizza? My treat.
Mr. Nick, what's a pizza? Is it a kind of pea, like green peas?
Let's go eat one later, okay?
Ugh, I got cut off by the pizza dude at the shop?
That's too bad.
Well, how about we get our minds off of this topic and talk about something else, okay?
Okay, pizza first, then we continue this interrogation. Pearl doesn't know pizza. What kind of hellhole is her home? She lives in the rural Japanifornia countryside. Mr. Ongard, are you connected to Miss Impax's suicide in some way? Very Little Caesar. Okay. Do I need to actually talk with people? Pretty sure even rural Japan knows about pizza. March 22nd, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Wait, okay. I'm like 95% sure I know who this... Right. She's from rural Japan. Okay. So I think this is because I'm remembering this case now. But we need to think of like what characters we have. We know there's going to be a new witness. The guy said we would already know him. Now, Old Bag and Adrian Andrews have already been on the stand. So feudal. So which ones are left? And then we have someone who's asking Wright that he needs to help them. And also, we need to learn more sordid details of the past of these celebrities. This is Will Powers. I'm like 95% sure. Oh, Mr. Wright, please, you have to help me. Uh-oh. Hell yeah. Get deducted on. Unlike Phoenix, I can use Edgeworth tech. But no. Japan's Pizza Hut, for God's sake. Yes, I too have seen Code Geass. I am very well aware that Japan has Pizza Hut. Mr. Powers.
What happened? Why are you here?
Oh, you see, I got roped into this somehow.
What?
And now I'm going to testify at tomorrow's trial. So the decisive witness is Mr. Powers? I was talking with the detective until a little while ago, and I was on my way home, when all of a sudden... Are you there? You're under arrest. And I was brought back here. Oh. They said my face and the whole self in general looked suspicious or something. Well, I guess I can see how they thought you looked suspicious. Oh, I'm just a normal guy on an exercise show for kids. Is that a crime? Tomorrow's testimony. So about this testimony you're giving, what are you going to talk about? I really don't know yet. But it sounds like I saw something pretty important from what they tell me. You saw something important? What was it? Oh, well, the detective told me not to talk about it. You can't tell anyone, especially not that lawyer, he said.
Who do you think is that lawyer the detective was talking about?
I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's me. Yeah, you got it.
Mr. Nick. Mystic Maya and myself are your only two allies in this whole world, but it's alright.
Ouch. I don't really have a lot of friends, do I? Damn, Phoenix. Powers is such a fictional sounding name, and I remember my high school physics teacher was Coach Powers. Yeah, there's a lot of names out there. So many people added to do some ones that end up being kind of weird in that. Oh, wow. Okay, give me a moment. Yeah, I'm beginning to think there's very little chance I'm going to be able to do a full 3-hour stream. But let's see if I can at least push through the end of this day. I don't think it's going to take 3 hours to get through all of this. Matt on guard. This is going to do a lot of damage to Matt, you know. Because he's got that refreshing like a spring breeze image going. But what is he really like?
Well, let's see. Matt's always been kind of a player with women. He would never really turn a pretty face away, if you know what I mean. He'd always say it's just a game to justify himself.
What? How horrible. That's unforgivable.
Ow! Sorry. Didn't mean to offend you. But you know, he said once that there's only one person in the world who won't.
No, wait, Power is doing it.
There's only one person in the world who won't swoon over me.
Man, one person who wouldn't swoon over him? I need this stretched out for multiple days, so I have something to do after 9 p.m.
His manager, you know, Miss Adrian Andrews.
Why is Mr. Power suddenly looking kind of energetic? Because it's gossip? Which is, I'm not big into gossip, and I do kind of have a negative opinion of it, but it's kind of cute to see that there's at least something that makes Will Powers happy. He's kind of a sad sack.
You see, I'm actually a sucker for gossip. I mean, celebrities and their world have this dazzling sort of image, right?
A dazzling sort of image? But aren't you a part of that dazzle, Mr. Powers?
No, I'm more of a hairy, sweaty, smelly, brutish kind of guy, you see. But it's okay, really. I get to hear plenty of gossip around a lot of the other stars around me as things happen.
Well, that's true.
Oh, hey, so did you hear about this yet? About Miss Andrews' mentor and her suicide?
Intra-office gossip is the worst. Yeah. Celeb gossip is like a spectator sport. This is true. Like, at least when it's something external like that, it can be damaging. We've seen it be damaging. We're all at the age, we've lived through the whole thing that happened with Britney Spears. But, especially when you're just doing it amongst other people, as long as you're not being a douchebag and putting it out there, then it's, pretty safe. Intra-office stuff is almost always going to be destructive by the nature of it happening. You mean Miss Pax and her goddamn suicide that's come up 50 times? Thank God Twitch does not go ballistic over that, because otherwise this would have been screwed.
We heard something about how her wedding was canceled.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought about it a little the other day, about that mysterious death. Hey, Mr. Wright, why don't you ask me about that? Go on, go ahead.
Mr. Powers is so charged up, his skin is practically glowing with electricity. Celeste's suicide.
Hey, so have you heard this? Celeste left a suicide note. And they say that Juan went and hid it.
We heard about that in court today. But there wasn't any actual proof that she had left a note.
Well, this is what I think. I think that something bad was written on that note.
It's not algorithmically friendly. I won't use another more asinine word. Like unaliving. Until I think it was primarily Captain who looked it up, which I was appreciated, that it's not that bad. Like, if it just, you're not supposed to talk about it too much where, like, you're clearly not treating it with the seriousness it deserves here. Which I don't think this game is doing that. But it is just obnoxious how often it comes up. But Twitch does not seem to be as anal about that as, like, say, YouTube. But, like, a couple times I was using the Japanese word for it. Which I'm sure that they would be able to flag, but probably not in something that's primarily English languaged. I don't know. Something bad for Juan, that is.
Something bad for Mr. Kurita?
Why do you figure so? Well, before she died, Celeste talked with a few of her friends. And she said, you know what? No, I'm not gonna try to do. I'm not gonna create a fake voice that I think of Celeste as having for a line that I'm having Will Powers imitate as a quote. That is for someone who's actually good at acting or voice acting to do. And she said, "It looks like I got caught up with the truly insidious man." A truly insidious man? Did she mean Mr. Kurita by that? Well, there's no one else that fits the bill, right? And that would be reason enough for him to hide the suicide note. I see. Well, that's some good info. Thank you. You're welcome. Mr. Ongard and Miss Andrews, they're both at the detention center right now. There's still things I don't understand or know about, I'm sure. I have to get the two of them to tell me everything. I'm gonna let the Steel Samurai play for a little bit. Take a sip. It's very short. That's okay.
Mr. Nick, your phone?
Hey, that's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? I don't like the sound of this ringtone right now. It sounds kind of ominous. Yeah, I know. Definitely boomers said this is the loud-ass ringtones as they scrambled for their phones. Hello? We're in trouble now, pal. I'll be back at the office really soon. What's wrong? Something really unexpected just happened. Mr. Edgeworth, Edgeworth? Anyway, hurry up and get back to the office, pal. I don't know what's going on anymore. It's no good. The end. Hello? He got cut off.
What's going on, Mr. Nick?
Gumshoe said we need to go back to the office right away.
Then we should hurry back.
I'm scared to go back.
What are you talking about? Mr. Nick, pull yourself together.
Maybe it'll be good news. Somehow, I doubt that. Yeah, this day is, I'm not gonna say like on rails, but it's pretty straightforward. Which is okay. I think that's actually pretty good for when you have multiple investigation phases. That last day should be mostly straightforward because by that point, you should be focusing in on what the truth behind the case is. Thanks, dude. I hate that trick with being mysterious when 3 seconds of explanation would do. Yeah. I mean, it's Gumshoe. He probably would do something like that. And again, I've had this happen to me in real life and it was hyper annoying. Yeah. Like sometimes people, well, it's because they just don't want to explain something like over text. They'd rather just do it in person. But I feel like there's always at least a happy medium where you could at least give some context. March 22nd, Reading Company Law Offices. What took you so long, pal? Mr. Edgeworth couldn't stick around forever and had to go. Well, what happened? We got him. We know who bought that spy camera.
Hey?
This quickly?
And this bear's what gave them away, pal.
The bear?
Oh, I figured it out, pal. I figured that we should have been looking into the bear instead of the camera.
But wasn't it Mr. Edgeworth that figured?
And go on.
Oh, there's only one person who bought one of those bears who's related to this crime.
Who is it? Who would be so rude as to spy on another person in their room?
Oh, Matt Ongard. Oh, Matt Ongard. Your client. That's who, pal.
And here I thought things couldn't get any worse. Stuffed bear. Are you sure you heard right? That the person who bought this bear was?
Oh, I heard it from the department store clerk, pal. This is the credit card receipt for the purchase. It's for $3,800, pal. That's an exact match to the price of that stuffed bear.
Okay, 1, this is a goddamn expensive ass stuffed bear. 2, why doesn't it say what it was on the receipt? What the hell kind of backwards department store is this? A receipt? That's all you have?
Oh, nah, it's not just a receipt, pal. The store clerk said so himself. He told me, I'm sure I sold that bear to Mr. Ongard.
Whoa, I'm out to a whole number on sales tax.
I mean, the clerk even got Mr. Ongard's autograph out of it, pal. Oh, so I'm sure the person that bought the stuffed bear was Mr. Ongard himself.
My sight is failing me. This can't be. Credit card receipt added to the court record. A receipt for $3,800. Proof Ongard bought a stuffed bear identical to one in evidence. Spy camera. So what about the spy camera we found?
Ah, that was a dead end, pal. I mean, you can get this kind of thing from anywhere. But for now, I guess I can give these back to you for you to file away into evidence.
Spy camera, transmitter, and stuffed bear refiled into the court record.
I know you don't want to give up, pal.
Never thought. I didn't think it was possible. The person who put the spy camera in Juan Carita's room was Matt Ongard.
Why would Mr. Ongard do something like this?
Oh, I bet it was to catch Miss Andrews and Mr. Carita in one of their rendezvous.
I bet it's not good enough for me. I have to know the absolute truth behind this camera.
Are you going to see him? Mr. Ongard, I mean?
Yes.
I'm scared, Mr. Nick. I wonder what we will find out next.
I'm scared myself. But I have to put on a good face for Pearls. Matt Ongard, what in the world have you done? Alright. I guess we go for Matt next. You're working really late, you know. It's already past 10 p.m., dude. And is that like an 8-year-old little girl? Isn't it way past her bedtime? I think it's time you told me the truth. Relax. Don't you know that ignorance is bliss? But if you really want to know, let's talk. Alright. Let's do this. Matt's secret. Now, let's hear what this secret of yours is. What if Mr. Carita had been successful in his plan? What would he have disclosed? I told you before, dude. I don't know. I don't know anything about Juan, okay? Look, Mr. Wright,
I can keep on saying it until I'm blue in the face, but I totally didn't pay Juan any attention the whole time that night.
Just turn the tables on the kidnappers. If they kill Maya, throw Matt off the top floor of the Gatewater.
I mean, come on. I was in the middle of a nap.
Don't lie to me.
Huh?
I know you paid close attention to Mr. Kurita, especially on that night. I'm gonna say the spy camera? Set to record the victim's room from 8 p.m. for 1 hour, responding at time of murder. Someone used this camera to secretly film Mr. Kurita's room the night of the murder.
Secretly film? What?
And then sent the images the camera took with this transmitter.
Wow. But dude, where was this camera you're talking about hidden?
The stuffed bear. The spy camera was hidden in this bear's eye. A bear that was supposed to be a present from a fan.
I guess Juan had a few of those kinds of fans too, huh, dude?
Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from a fan.
You sure, dude? Who else could it be from?
The person who gave this bear to Mr. Kurita was... It actually would have been faster just... actually, that was fast until I went past it. Mr. On Guard, don't you know this bear from somewhere?
I don't think I've ever met Mr. Bear before, dude.
Aw, but he says he knows you. How could you forget such a great friend?
What else did the bear tell you?
He says that the one who put the camera in his eye was you, Mr. On Guard.
If I didn't know how you work in court, I'd think I was in some serious trouble. Come on. This is all a joke, right, dude? You're just pulling my leg.
Looks like you're not ready to give up your secret yet.
Well, do you have any proof you want to show me first?
Here is proof that it was you who put the camera inside the bear. Okay, that was a weird way to phrase this, but we knew he got the bear, so. I have here one credit card receipt, Mr. On Guard. It's from when you bought that stuffed bear.
Dude, all you can tell from this is that I spent $3,800. I go to that department store all the time, okay? This $3,800, this could be the toothbrush I bought that one time.
A $3,800 toothbrush?
It's ivory, and it's got elephant hair for bristles.
Ew, elephant hair? Is that what rich people use nowadays? Anyway, the store clerk clearly remembers you and your purchase. After all, you even gave him an autograph, did you not?
Dude, you should have said that earlier before I lied to your face.
Kill this man. Look, just because his taste in toothbrushes runs a little bit expensive.
So can I ask you one thing?
Yes?
You're my lawyer, right, dude?
Mr. Electric.
So, if you are, then why are you looking into stuff like that?
Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you.
Sounds more like stupid lawyer talk to me. Hey, let's stop talking about this, okay?
No, not yet. I haven't asked why you set the camera up yet. And what your secret is. Of course, it would be strictly confidential.
So, what are you going to do now?
I'm going to find out what I want to know, because I must. The reason you hid this camera in Mr. Kurita's room and filmed it in secret is... The press conference? Oh man, we're at 3 health too. I don't even know if I have the thing for this. Okay. Or is this about the suicide? I feel like I must have the evidence because the game would probably not direct me to this if I didn't. Such a regal bear. I mean, yeah, it has that look a little bit, doesn't it? Maybe I'm thinking too far ahead. Is that what's going on here? Like, maybe it's supposed to still be the fact that, like, Juan was... Damn, okay, no, it wasn't that. That makes sense. He didn't know about it anyways. Mr. Ongard?
Dude, how about you take that bear home with you and talk to it? I'm sure Mr. Bear will talk with you about as much as I will, which is not at all.
Ouch. Maybe only 3 health ticks was generous for that. I have to somehow get it through his head. I'm not giving up.
So, is it time to throw in the towel yet, dude?
Sorry, but no. I'm going to find out what I want to know, because I must. The reason you hid this camera in Mr. Kurita's room and filmed it in secret is... I mean, I'm going to guess it has to be the scandal then. That makes sense, okay.
Adrian Andrews?
Love scandal. There was a rumor going around. Miss Andrews and Mr. Kurita were having secret meetings. You, who was keeping tabs on Mr. Kurita, you were going to reveal this as fact and turn it into a scandal. Isn't that right?
Dude, you can be such a moron.
Huh?
Oh man, Mr. Lawyer Dude? That kind of scandal? That's the good stuff. That's what we in the industry call juicy.
The good stuff? Juicy?
Look, we can get publicity without spending a penny with that kind of stuff. I mean, if people stop paying attention to us, then it'd be the end, dude.
Too bad that wasn't your intention.
What are you talking about?
I wish your reason for spying was something so innocent. But it wasn't. You didn't spy on Mr. Kurita because of Miss Andrews. If you didn't, then because then there's only one reason I can think of for you to do such a thing. He's getting low-key aggressive. He went from 90s Pauly Shore to 2010s Pauly Shore. Good one, Donnie. The real reason you set up the camera in Mr. Kurita's room was... Okay, is it time now then? Because I do know... It must be time for this then. I think so. Okay, picture curd. What is this curd? Maybe he doesn't know about this curd. This is a certain man's calling curd. The man's name is Shelly the Killer. And I'm sure you know of him, don't you? Shelly the Killer? That's ridiculous. Why would I know some shady scumbag like him? If you really don't know him, then why are you acting so jumpy all of a sudden? This is it. I'm finally starting to get to the truth. I can't afford to make any more mistakes now. Okay. Mr. Matt Ongard, I know why you know Mr. the Killer. It's because you're a hero of justice. You're a star. You're his client. Since you're the one who set up that camera, that means you knew. You knew exactly what was going to happen in that room. So, how? How would you know something like that? It's because you're his client. That's why. You hired Shelly the Killer to assassinate Mr. Juan Kurita. The real mastermind behind this whole murder is... you, Matt Ongard. And here I was, trying to be a good boy for you, dude. I thought if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought anyway. Mr. Ongard? You really did hire? I was gonna start smoking a bubble wand. You're gonna wish he was that subtle. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna consult myself, okay? Consult myself? Well, I guess it's probably about time anyway. About time for what? I think it's time for you to meet him now, Mr. Lawyer Dude. How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I'm Matt Ongard. Shelly the Killer, or Sazayamon Koroshia, Turban Shell Assassin. Well, I didn't realize it was so literal. Oh, God, he's got a chalice. Well done, Mr. Wright. I bet it wasn't easy to gather as much information as you have. You really... So you are Shelly the Killer's client? You didn't really think I would dirty my own hands in this, did you? What do you mean? And that woman, Adrian, was quite brave herself, trying to stick the crime on me. I didn't think she had it in her. But all I care about is that Juan is dead. Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer? You're lying. What a terrible... It's way past your bedtime, little girl. Go on, and let us grown-ups talk about more adult things.
But why? Why did you hide the video camera and...
A weakling soon believes the words of others, just like that pathetic Adrian.
He knew about Miss Andrews' secret.
But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins.
What?
Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. They turn their clients into cash cows by holding the sinful deed over their heads. And a superstar like me, how much do you think I'm worth? Care to guess?
And that's why?
Yes, and that's where the video comes in. It's got his face and the crime scene recorded on it, preserved for all time. With that, I can keep him at bay, and even blackmail him if I want. That's right, that video is my insurance. Isn't that what they call it, Mr. Wright?
Why would you do something so wrong?
Because I'm a grown-up and I can. Good enough of an answer for you, little girl.
Alright, so I was kind of going in a rhythm on that.
He's possessed by a demon.
Purge him with steel and fire. And was he too going to throw it at a light fixtures like certain prosecutor? Also, that guard is really bad at his job. Letting the criminal have alcohol. You assume that guard is still alive. That carries a cardboard cutout. It's cool that his old-fashioned ripples when he chuckles. That's a nice little touch, isn't it? They do nice little bits. It's one of those things. And we've seen this a little bit with investigations where after a certain point they get a little bit more elaborate with these ones. I think these early games though, they had a nice sweet spot there. I feel like because this was the case in Great Ace Attorney, and I think this is a little bit the case in investigations too. They get a little bit too much with them. It's the classic, you must always escalate conundrum. As I started learning to animate, I've grown to appreciate all the little things. That makes sense. Kind of gives you that eye for that. Motive for murder.
Why? Why would you kill Mr. Kurita?
Because he was about to sling so much dung onto my beautiful public image. Scandals are a little annoying, aren't they?
This is all because of that press conference, isn't it?
If Mr. Kurita had been able to give it, then Mr. Ongart's secret would have...
Ah, well, that's what we call taking advantage of the situation, you know. I had no interest in doing it, really, but bit by bit, it crept up on me. And then the situation just presented itself perfectly. How beautiful, I thought.
And that's how Mr. Kurita ended up dead.
Let me tell you something. I'm not like Adrian. I don't depend on anyone.
I mean, except you hired an assassin. I guess it was a business transaction and you made a plan to blackmail him, but still.
People are simply things to be used and thrown away.
Oh, okay, that's what you mean. You don't depend on people. You use them. Good for you.
Put on a sweet, innocent face, and people will swallow anything you feed them. Adrian fell for it. The assassin, too. Oh, and how can I forget? Even you fell for it, Mr. Lawyer. Everyone, all working their butts off for me, Matt on guard. Ah, did that leave you speechless? What a shame. What's wrong, Mr. Lawyer? You've grown awfully quiet.
How could I have been so deceived by you all this time? When we first met, I asked if you had killed Juan Corrida, and you answered very clearly that you hadn't killed anyone.
Hey now, I never told you any lies. The person who did the killing was that the killer guy, right? And all I'm guilty of is taking a catnap in my room.
You, you killed Mr. Creator.
Ha! I dare you to say that in court tomorrow. But too bad. You can't. You're my lawyer after all, aren't you? You could always drop my case and refuse to represent me. How does that sound? Oh, but you can't you? That would be the one thing you absolutely can't do.
Mystic Maya.
You wouldn't want to test the killer. He's a man of his word. Or so I hear. You could end up getting a certain friend of yours rubbed out if you lose.
You scoundrel.
So if I were you, Mr. Wright, Esquire, I think I would give it my all tomorrow. Remember, everyone likes a happy win-win resolution.
I'll get you for this. Okay. I like that they actually had that little Phoenix slamming his hands sound effect there.
That's such a cliche phrase. One said something just like that, if memory serves. Of course, well, we all know how well things turned out for him, don't we? Good night, Mr. Lawyer.
Maya, what am I supposed to do? And now you finally found it. I'm assuming Mia just popped into Pearl's body. Oh no, it was Edgeworth. Damn it. Okay, that makes more sense. And now you finally found it. I like how Edgeworth was just like waiting in the wings for like, okay, when is Phoenix gonna find out that I'm gonna win this time? He's got a guilty client. Sorry, that is being unfair to Edgeworth. It's not actually about winning for him here. I think it might be a little bit. But this is really more a thematic thing, you know. This is meant to be like, this is a true test for Phoenix. What does he do when he has a guilty client? Can he do the right thing that the game pushes, which is you want to get the truth? In this case, he knows. Miles had to learn winning wasn't everything to finally win. Nods. With his dead possessing body, his DC to psychically project his own outfit. Now, in fairness, Miles has already done this. He does this in the third case in the first game. And also, he does this in the fifth case in the first game, too. But the fifth case is always a weird one to talk about, because it was made after the fact. Edgeworth, this is why you don't have adequate things right. But in that one, even though it hurt his case a little bit, he kept pushing to find out what the truth was about the Steel Samurai thing. Edgeworth flatlinersing himself just to taunt Phoenix. The starting line of this case. Edgeworth, I don't care for the horrid atmosphere here. Let's return to the precinct. Did Edgeworth just teleport us? It's been decades since I saw that movie. He's very powerful. March 22nd, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Well, Wright, what are you going to do? If you plan on changing your strategy... No, we can't do that. That's right. He's holding Maya hostage. What should I do? That's not something I can answer for you. Mr. Edgeworth? Right. only you can decide where to go from here. 1 year ago, at that time, I didn't truly understand what a prosecutor was, and that is why I had to leave the prosecutor's office. I felt that I couldn't stand in a court of law until I knew what a prosecutor really was. And now, Wright, it's your turn.
My turn?
What is this thing called a lawyer? What can you do as one? You must find the answer, and you must find it on your own.
Okay, but we can talk a little bit, right? Matt Engard, I'm a lawyer, but to fight for someone who is clearly a killer...
Matt Engard, that man is really... It doesn't matter who. Every person deserves a proper defense and a fair trial.
Do they, Edgeworth? Like, here's the thing. Even reformed Edgeworth, I'm not even sure can still validly say this. Because the prosecution always tries to steamroll you. Good or bad. I guess the idea is the proper defense is the fact that they're like, look, if I come out guns blazing with all my bullshit and give you little leeway, you'll be a proper defense. You either put up or shut up. I guess that's my both sides are wearing shorts to gain the truth and see if a fair trial slip by the clown shoes world he lives in. Like, this part I think is just going to fail a little bit just from the way the cases themselves are set up. And the fact that like the prosecution's always so aggressive and they always present it like you're always at the like borderline, like disaster is always weighing around the corner. Slow the trial as is until the sniper team gets a position.
Isn't that the basis of our judicial system?
Proper defense? What exactly is that?
Phoenix, you passed the bar exam.
Supposedly. Is it where a lawyer forcibly and blindly gets an acquittal through shouting and trickery? That thing I've always been doing, despite the fact that I also have found the truth each and every single time?
Ironic that you of all people should say such a thing. Isn't that exactly how you have fought for your clients up until now?
Well, that may be true, but that's
because I believe my clients to be innocent from the bottom of my heart. But if I were to get on guard an acquittal, that isn't a proper defense at all.
my situation.
I became a lawyer because I thought I could save people who were suffering and in pain. But when I look at this mess we're in, I can't even protect the person closest to me.
Maybe Phoenix is like the judge from the original Night Court. It's really funny that in the... It's really funny that in the game where I think the prosecutor is the most fair on the logic side is the game where the prosecutor is also clearly racist. Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it? You'd like this case since, yeah, Phoenix has been thrown a curveball with a guilty as sin client. He was made a judge because he was the only one on the list home to answer his phone. You know, very well could be. We've been told basically Gumshoe passed. Because he showed up looking like a detective. And apparently there's a detective exam and they just passed him. And yeah, like, other things come up for Phoenix later on, but this always had to happen, right? Like, he couldn't always have a track record where his clients were always innocent.
Even if I win the case, I still lose in the end. I just don't know what to do. Right. Would you get a hold of yourself? You have it all wrong. Huh? Oh, we aren't some sort of heroes. We're only human, you and I. You want to save someone? Oh, that's something easier said than done, wouldn't you say? That's... You are a defense attorney. You can't run away from that. You can only fight. That's all you can do. Tatakai. Right. Tatakai. But no. That's also kind of like how Phoenix Wright should also have cases that don't involve murder, but the one time that's the case, it still ends up being murder, so... Yeah... Yeah... Kind of weird that, huh? Now, this is dramatically good. I do really like this case. I think this was... I don't know. There are elements to this that are like a little bit weird. But I still think this is a very good case. And it and the second case where we met Maya's aunt are both pretty essential for the thing. And the first one's good because you see Maggie. And it's a short tutorial case. Turnabout Big Top is eminently skippable. Well, mostly. Why fight? I mean, it's easily the best case in just for all, but it's also the final one, so... Yeah, I guess that's fair. I want to say easily the best case is a little bit final case bias, because the second case is very good. But for nothing else, the second case also just kind of has... Nope, no, you're trying to walk it back. You said easily the best case. You have already committed. Really like the second one too. Trying to act like he's like, well, I mean, I really like the second one. I just think the fourth case is easily better. Phoenix Wright does the case where he tries to get leniency for a first-time shoplifter, but then the body is found for day 2. I think it's hard though, like the very blatant like tease at the end, and they don't, and it makes sense why, but you don't really feel like you get the win over Morgan, because that is all a sequel hook for the third game. People like you and Franziska von Karma are always using all you have to pin me down. You fight to the very end, even when you know the truth is not with you. I'm not like you. I can't fight for a false verdict, for a man I clearly know to be guilty. But now, in case they're super over-the-top DLC cases, just get extra bells, so... Which is fair. I mean, this one's a little bit different, just because... it has a tiny bit of bleeding into it, but this is maybe the most standalone final case. Except for, I guess, the first Great Ace Attorney, if you count that. And I really don't, because the first Great Ace Attorney is half tech demo. Also, I will stop and point out, Phoenix is being very rude here. Like, this is a very, like, well, I'm not like you, no. I don't know if Phoenix really needed to, like, be humbled, but this is not a great look for him. Look at it this way, if you do turn on your client, not only will Maya die, but you also get this bird. Oh man, I could only imagine what that'd be like. It might end up
coming up at some point. I'm surprised it hasn't really. I mean, Phoenix gets in trouble. That's the whole thing that happens in Apollo Justice. But I don't think you ever have to deal with actually seeing them get disbarred.
Francisca. She fights for herself. The only thing she fights for is her perfect win record. That's all.
And? Isn't that the same as you? Isn't that why you ran away a year ago? Phoenix. Phoenix, right, how long have you been a lawyer now? And this hasn't come up? You like to play something like significantly shorter side keys for small crimes? Maybe breaking up the big ones. I mean, that's an interesting idea, because they always stick with it being like... This is like the exception now, with it being 4 cases, and the first game. 5 is where they've usually ended up. And I think one of the things they've kind of got really smart with is they have like a smaller one near the end before the big final one. They kind of give you like, take a gasp of air here, get ready, and then plunge back in. It's just coming back in New Man, and Phoenix has to be a little bitch. Yeah. Yeah, it's always kind of felt like a weird take for Phoenix Wright to have after the DLC case. I think part of the game's appeal is the big production of the cases, so no, if a really small case can really work without being tied to another larger case. And that's the secret to how they do it most of the time. That is, in fact, what they do in the third game. And yeah, it's also just really... I mean, look, that DLC case, they kind of had to shoehorn in a little bit. They really needed a different prosecutor for it. Because it honestly, and I feel like they make it work more for Edgeworth, but it's still a little bit weird that, like, I don't know. Edgeworth, that case doesn't really help him discover things. Like, if anything, it's like, you could have just stuck around and done things, Edgeworth. But he's like, no, I must go on sabbatical for a year and discover myself and my true way of prosecutorial life. Which makes no sense. Except that we know that, in fact, Edgeworth left and he discovered that the true path to being a prosecutor is actually to be an investigator instead. Lawyer shows up some unrelated case of the episode of the show. They do other things. The meat of the episode is a high-profile one. Yeah, this is true. Like, a big part of that case was them working together to find the truth for the first time. The Phoenix was like, we ran away, like, tell me, because we want to do is win. Well, for the second time. The first time is at the end of the Steel Samurai case. Or not the end, but it's, like, close to the way there. But yeah, it happens extensively in the 5th DLC case. Same with hospital dramas. Edgeworth, I had to go meet my friend, Bruce Wayne, and become super lawyer. But yeah, like, I don't know, this whole thing... The fact that they made Phoenix really butthurt about Edgeworth leaving. Like, did they just do it for the fans of the shipping? Because if so, it's kind of lame. Because your precious win record was destroyed? You are so petty. Phoenix, why? Stop. Bro. I see. Now I understand why you despise me so. However, you are mistaken. What are you? Thanks to you, when you sealed off my path to a perfect win record, I began to realize the error of my ways. I realized that things such as a perfect record were meaningless. Okay, in fairness, this is not a great way he's phrasing it right now. He's basically saying, well, once I learned that I could lose once, then it didn't matter at all. You didn't beat me, it was all bullshit anyways. Oh, you guys.
What?
I don't believe you. Are you saying that is why you left the prosecutor's office? But then, why? Why are you here now? The answer to that is something you will find out on your own. I have faith you will see it before the verdict is read tomorrow. Also, like Phoenix, right? You already beat him like 3 times by the time he left. Edgeworth blames his high ping. But if you can't, then you will be powerless to change the ending of this story.
Mr. Nick, the transceiver. I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Now then, Mr. Attorney, do you wager you can obtain an acquittal tomorrow?
Oh my god. Okay. Well. Sorry. That was mostly fine, but I think the voice I did for Matt Ongard after he revealed himself caught up to me in that moment. Also, he left the prosecutor's office because it was corrupt as hell. I cannot wait till you get to investigations too. Because they kind of do something addressing that, but also not, and it's really funny.
Now then, Mr. Attorney, do you wager you can obtain an acquittal tomorrow? My, what's the matter, Mr. Attorney? I don't sense your usual anger this time.
Tell me, please. Why are you holding Maya hostage for Mr. Ongard's sake? Why are you doing this for that cold-blooded killer? Right.
Please don't misunderstand things. He is my client.
Don't toy with me. Man who hires an assassin is just as much of a killer himself.
I believe you were asking me for a reason as to why I am doing what I am.
Yeah?
This is what I like to call my aftercare.
Oh. When baby Chris played this game, he did not have the context to have a juvenile response to that. Less baby modern day Chris, however, does. What the heck is aftercare? Well, maybe if you knew what that was, Phoenix, our relationship wouldn't be on the rocks so often. Not in front of pearls, Edgeworth. Sorry. It was too obvious.
My name carries a certain amount of honor and dignity, Mr. Attorney. I take great care to ensure that no suspicion falls upon my clients for my handiwork. That is what is called client relations, and it is a part of an assassin's duty.
An assassin's duty?
We were unlucky this time, and my client was arrested as a suspect. As a result, I did what I had to do to enlist your expert help, Mr. Attorney, and to ensure that you would do everything in your power to the very end.
The joys of learning things. Phoenix Wright doesn't believe in aftercare. ASMR assassin play plus aftercare. What is your name?
I believe I told you once before, however.
You did, but
my name is the Killer. Shelly the Killer.
You're Shelly the Killer?
Please keep in mind you do not have much space to maneuver with me. As a killer, I always finish what I set out to do. If you fail to keep up your end of the bargain,
Maya.
it would be my duty as an assassin to see to it she receives a nice, long nap.
No.
Now then, if you'll excuse me, if someone were to trace this signal back to me, it would be quite troublesome. Oh shit, the cat.
Beep. You know, if Phoenix was smarter, he'd be asking if they could, track the source of the signal. No, see, there you go, Darth. Phoenix was too dumb to bring that up, but also, Shelly the Killer is a professional. Mystic Maya, Mystic Maya. I don't know what to say. Edgeworth. You know, it's a good thing Phoenix is both not that smart and a lot more violent. Shut up, Shelly the Kidder. Did you hear that? At the end of that transmission. Huh. Oh, that. It sounded like a cat. A cat? It can't be. That cat. Can it? Hell yeah, we need to find the cat. What is it? I know where Shelly the Killer is holding Maya hostage. Edgeworth, have all police units head for On Guard Mansion immediately. Because I suspect he might just beat the killer to death for basically saying he's going to kill Maya. But if they done goofed and backtraced it, consequences will never be the same. Classic. Also, I think I forgot to say it, but hey Dill. Because we hit that halfway point where you show up. Alright, you hurry over as well then. Don't lose hope yet, Pearls. The fight has only just begun. Yeah. I don't think Phoenix wants to see another person from the Faye family die. I mean, if nothing else, I wouldn't want to have Pearls channel both Maya and Mia at the same time. I don't know, Morgan is kinda eh. Morgan doesn't count. We need to go back to our office. Oh no, it's from the hotel, that's right. Living room. March 22nd. On Guard Mansion. Living room. Maya. Please answer us, Mystic Maya. We have this area completely surrounded. There is no way for him to escape. Is that a King Arthur reference, or is that another actual Ace Attorney character? Can you channel more than one spirit at once? I mean, I don't think so. And I mean, it's Maya's aunt. That's who she is, Ace Attorney. I assume they call her Morgan as the reference, though. I don't know if there's another one acting there. But yeah, she was in the second case. This second game is a game of two cases. Her thing is, because we met, she's Pearl's mom. And she wants Pearl to be the new head of the family. Which, in fairness, Pearl does have a lot of potential. She has more potential than Maya does. But she, as Darth so succinctly put it there, she's a bitch. She is. Assuming he's still in the area. I can't believe it. That butler.
All this time, he was the killer. He and Angad were working together all this time. I'm sure they had worked out a contingency plan ahead of time. Denying Pearl Pizza is a bitch move. This is true. It seems that Angad was quite famous, even as a motorcycle racer. Generally, when a sir like him tries to do something like that, they fail, but it seems Angad is no ordinary man. This is the first time I've seen such a large fireplace. I don't particularly care for large fireplaces. They reminded me of my youth. That's right, he grew up in a really affluent household. I guess you're still not over that case, huh? Don't take this personally, but I really do not wish to remember anything from that time in my life. That Angad, this is probably where he conducted business with the killer. Yeah. Shelley the killer values his client relations more than anything else. So I'm sure he must meet with his clients in person to talk about any transactions.
There's a small door at the bottom of this bigger door, Mr. Nick.
I bet it's for the cat to use.
Oh, you mean shoe?
Grabbed the bear. Grabbed the bear. Oh wait. I missed hitting the bear.
Oh, it's a figurine of a bear. But there are a lot of cuts in it for some reason.
Figurine added to the court record. A wooden bear-shaped figurine. It's covered in many thin cuts. Phoenix. My dude, come on. If only Science Maya was here. Dareth is right, we do need Science Maya. A bear? Isn't that more of a thing for Mr. Kurita? Why would something like this be here? Right. Look down. There's a little pet door installed here.
Ah, I'm sure that's for shoe.
Do you think that this came through that little door? Oof. This door. It's locked. Well, I'm pretty used to breaking doors down by now. Let's go, Edgeworth. Like, look, again. Say what else you will about Phoenix. He was like, oh, this door is locked? Fuck this door, then. Look, if you establish her as existing, might as well use her. Oh, that'd be nice. Unfortunately, Science Maya only existed after these 3 games. Because she's part of the DLC for the first game's remake on the DS. Because they wanted to add DS functionality. Which is why Emma shows up in there. And she's gone in these 2 games. Then she shows up in other stuff. Phoenix is strong, boy. Someone used Iris's cat flap-a-mat. Arg, there's no one here. From the looks of this room, I would say this is Angard's private lounge. Look at this, Wright. An antenna for sending and receiving radio signals. And a VCR. Check inside the deck. If there's a tape, it would be an important piece of evidence. Also quite durable. Good old B&E. Because breaking down a door hurts. Oh no. Phoenix is very durable. But that's more the 3rd game where that comes up. If we're lucky, it'll have the moment the crime was committed recorded on it. I'm sorry, but the tape deck is empty. There's no tape to be found.
No.
But there's no mistake that someone used this to record something. Looks like someone took the tape we're looking for and escaped with it. I don't think that satellite works inside. Look, they had to make it easy for us to find. It's a VCR and an antenna. The footage that the spy camera took at the scene of the crime was beamed here and recorded on tape.
If only we had that tape, it would have been really helpful.
A huge television and speakers loom largely here. I'm sure if Maya saw this, she'd say,
I would die a happy samurai fan if I could see the Nickel Samurai on a TV like this.
yeah, that's what she'd say. Oh, I can't believe I just made a joke about Maya, all things considered. Nope, not what I did. It's on Guard's computer. Maya, why couldn't you have used this to get help?
Mr. Nick, where's the power switch?
Oh, I get it. So that's what happened. She couldn't find the power switch. This has me up grabbing a late night snack. Yeah, it's like the music just is going. It's excited. Paradise by the refrigerator light. I do like Meatloaf. That's a fun song. The whole extended baseball bit is goofy.
There's a little door for shoe in this big door.
I'm sure Maya used this door to shove this out of there. I'm sure it was her. Every time you give me some piece of evidence, it's always the most crucial piece. This time too, I'm sure. That's really nice. Like, because Maya has a whole thing where she feels like she never actually helps Phoenix that much. And it's nice to know in this, like, moment. Stop right there, criminal scum. Can't read all the labels, but this is a very large collection of videotapes. Looks like Ongar taped all of his own shows. What a spacious sofa. I bet 10 pearls would fit on here.
I don't think 10 of me would fit, Mr. Nick.
Okay, fine. That's weird, but sure. It's a very small table. Bet we could barely squeeze 3 pearls on there. Okay, that got me. I don't know why that got me. It's a very dumb joke. With the, like, back-to-back repetitious use of it the way I did it.
But I wouldn't sit on a table to begin with, Mr. Nick.
Or pearls. Oh, man. Or pearl. I mean, I think it calls her pearls, but... Wine cellar. We searched all over, but it looks like he got away. I'm sorry. It looks like he slipped out of our grasp this time. And now, we've lost our only lead. Don't give up yet. That little girl is looking to you to be her pillar. Are we using pearl as a unit of measurement? I mean, why not? She's conveniently there. Things can just pick her up and then, like, okay, I can fit 3 pearls there. This is 3 pearls. Yeah, you're right. We're close, I can tell. We've already set up checkpoints along every route leading out of this district. Leave the rest to us. Maya. It's crazy to me that the Bat Out of Hell album was a retooled rock opera about Peter Pan. I did not know that. That is crazy.
It's a pretty heavy door, isn't it? I can't open it by myself. Please don't shut me in here by accident, okay, Mr. Nick?
If I were locked in a place like this, I'd be plenty scared too. Trust me. The light doesn't filter in all the way, so it's hard to see. It looks like there are crates and cardboard boxes tied up with wire here.
Wow, I've never seen so many bowels all in one place before.
Well, I guess when you're a sir, you have so much money you can buy anything you want. It's like enough booze for any 10 given livers. This looks like a picture of Miss Impax. With love, Celeste.
Miss Impax, you mean?
Yes, Mr. Kurita's former manager.
Why would a picture of Miss Impax be here in Mr. Ungard's mansion?
And why does it say with love? This might be a clue. Celeste's photo added to the court record. Found at Ungard Mansion. With love, Celeste is written on it.
Ah,
What's wrong, Pearls?
please let me see that picture frame.
Huh? What's so special about the frame?
On the back, there's something written on the back of the frame. Maya. It's Mystic Maya. She left us a message.
What? Sorry, I had to take a moment there. Sometimes, like, you know, Maya's theme, it, like, kicks in. It's like, ugh. Music can kind of, like, just tap into nostalgia quickly like that.
I thought you'd come. I knew you would. Now listen up. You'd better get Ungard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you. Ever. I'm fine, so you don't need to worry. There's so much I want to write, but I don't think I have a lot of time left.
I mean, how much goddamn, like, okay, this is a very nice scene. Holy crap. Maya has fantastic writing, like, small letters. Like, admittedly, you can, pack more with characters, I'm pretty sure. But even then, Maya's theme is like a JRPG tomboy childhood friend theme. Yeah. Does kind of give me a soft Luca vibe. On a trigger.
Pearly, you're there too, right? Make sure you help Nick, okay? Someone's gotta watch out for the helpless lunk. That's it for now, Nick. I guess I'll talk to you guys later. No, Mystic Maya.
Sleek Avian, oh hi. Hello there. Right. What's wrong? Why the blank stare? Oh, nothing. We've searched the house, and this is the last room. It looks like he eluded us. Edgeworth. Yes. As far as clues go, I think this is about all I'm going to get. But I'm still short one last thing. And what is that? Miss Andrews' psych lock. I could just find out what secret she's holding. Then I think I stand a chance in court tomorrow to blow this case wide open and expose the truth. I think I know what you're thinking. I'll contact the detention center. Thanks, Edgeworth. Well, let's go, Pearls. It's time to open that last lock to the truth. Edgeworth is done playing around. He is just teleporting us all over the map to where we need to go. March 22nd, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. Good evening, Mr. Wright. What's wrong? You look ill. Do you think Edgeworth knows that Phoenix Wright uses magic to talk to witnesses? Not yet. Does that come up in the third case? Not third case, the third game? Okay, it does. Okay. Did Edgeworth believe in spirit channeling? In the first game. It's only a matter of time, I'm sure Edgeworth already looks like a warlock. Just because he has a cravat. But no. I'm sure Edgeworth knew the case of... I mean, honestly, he probably doesn't believe so. Because of the DL6 incident. Never comments on the fact that suddenly Maya has big old titties because she's channeling her sister. I mean, it was yeah. It's okay. I'm gonna be wrapped up soon and then we can sleep. What's wrong? You look ill. Miss Andrews, I've come to remove your psych lock. The fuck? Psych lock? I want to know, and you will tell me, your secret. Fine. Go ahead. Try to break me if you can. If anyone thought you were straight, there would be weird sexual tension here. But no. This is the last thing on the investigation section, so... Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, the game basically said that. Sounds kinky. Donnie with the starry eyes. Why frame him? That was me putting out my eyes. Don't read them anymore. Hope everyone as well. I should hope so too. I know I'm doing okay. I've had a little bit of a... 8 days wasn't too much, but I've just been busy for a little bit, so I'm glad to be finally about to have a break soon. Can you please tell me why you framed... I did this, right? Or did I not do this? I feel like I did this, but it was long enough. We can redo the whole thing. Can you please tell me why you framed Mr. Ongard for the murder? I've already told you countless times. It's because I thought Matt was the killer. No, that's not it. I know you have a personal reason to dislike Mr. Ongard. Miss Andrews, you may think I didn't hear it, but I know you said something earlier. You said revenge. So you are saying I was taking my revenge out on Matt, and that's why? Listen to me, love, now, so I'm good. What an absurd idea. I don't have anything I want to take revenge for. Miss Andrews, a woman who lives by being dependent on other people. There is something or someone in her past that would make her take revenge. Yeah, so this was Celeste. Celeste. There's only one catalyst that could cause such strong feelings and even revenge. And that is Miss Impax's suicide. What are you trying to say? Celeste was Juan's manager. On top of that, the one who hid her suicide note was also Juan. What does all this have to do with Matt? You're right. You haven't mentioned him yet. But for you to hate Mr. Ongard, it would mean that he must have had some relation to Miss Impax and her suicide. This is what we need the picture for. Can you explain to me this relation between Celeste and Matt? Celeste's photo. Shabam. This is a photo of Miss Impax, correct? She looks younger than when she passed away, though. With love. Celeste. This is Miss Impax's handwriting, isn't it? Where did you find this? No, that's all right.
It was a rhetorical question.
Yeah, it is. I found this at Mr. Ongard's mansion.
And after all this time, my last remaining secret has been revealed.
Why frame him?
Celeste. She was supposed to get married to Juan.
Yes, but I heard that it didn't work out.
Because Mr. Kurita didn't want to get married to her anymore, right?
Yes, because of Matt.
But because of Mr. Ongard? What do you mean?
Sorry about that. I think I can see where this is going.
Celeste. She was Matt's manager a long time ago. She was the happiest woman in the world at the time.
Aww.
I was working part-time back then, and I often saw the two of them together.
So that's why, with love, Celeste, is written on the frame of that picture. Like 3 years ago? Probably more like 4 or 5. Which I don't know why it's like acting like a couple years would make such a big difference, but rip. Yeah. Actually, wait a second. Age 20. Wait. Phoenix says she looks notably younger in it. And the suicide happens, and... No, I don't want to think about this too much. Lol, I can math. No, let's not think about it. No. It's still not as bad as Regina Barry either way.
They were a couple, weren't they?
Oh my god. If you truly... Oh man, it's too late and I need to wrap this up. The Oshinoko things I could talk about right now, though. The secret connection... No, not a connection at all. It's just a coincidence.
They were a couple, weren't they?
It wasn't anything as splendid as that. Celeste was being used. Toyed with until she was thrown away.
That's so horrible.
There are no coincidences.
Matt's entire image is built around how nice and wonderful of a man he is. A scandal would have destroyed that. Which is why Celeste, in her kindness, moved over to Worldwide Studios. And that is where she met Juan. She seemed really happy with him. Even happier than when she was with Matt. Celeste and Juan were such a good match, they were even planning to get married. And then it was suddenly called off.
Damned coincidences and statistics.
On the night Juan called their marriage off, Celeste, she killed herself. And that's why I framed Matt. It was revenge for Celeste and for myself.
Revenge.
I'm sure even you can guess why Juan called the wedding off, right? Matt confessed to Juan about his relationship with Celeste.
I see. So that's what happened.
But then why did Mr. Kurita have to call off the wedding? I don't understand at all.
It was probably because of his worthless male pride. Juan and Matt were always fierce rivals. Matt waited for the wedding announcement and then unleashed the truth on Juan. He was aiming for when it would hurt Juan the most.
Poor Miss Impax.
That wasn't the end of it. That day, I'm almost certain that Celeste left a suicide note behind. And in that note, she left a detailed account of Matt's various misdeeds, and so that she would never again be hurt by Matt, she chose to die. Then, when Juan discovered her body, he hid her note. But why would he do that? It's simple. Juan realized that note was a powerful weapon against Matt, and it would be especially damaging to his refreshing like a spring breeze image. In any case, with his pride hurt, Juan sought revenge.
Revenge. There's that word again.
Juan wanted to publicly disclose the contents of that suicide note. At a time that would cause Matt the most damage, of course.
And that was at the press conference after the stage show.
I know all about it, because I heard it all from Juan. It was so I could find out about all this that I drew close to Juan to begin with. They're quite a pair of hideous monsters, aren't they? Even Celeste's death was something for them to use in their game. That night, when I found Juan's body, it was only natural that I thought the murderer was Matt. Those two were always spying on one another after all. As for me, I was frantically searching for Celeste's suicide note. I wanted to destroy it before it ever went public. I was going to burn it. I had even brought a lighter. But I couldn't find the suicide note, and that's when revenge crossed my mind. Yes, I was going to bring to them my own kind of cruel revenge. Celeste was killed by those two monsters. So when I stabbed Juan's body with that knife, I didn't feel a single shred of guilt. And that's all I have to say. Well, Mr. Wright, even knowing all this, are you still going to help that man?
I'm a lawyer.
I see. What a foul profession.
Okay. Bitch, I've gotten multiple innocent people not guilty from false murder charges while also catching the actual killers. Shut the hell up. Fluke. But this is why it's good that Phoenix says at least one time, though. Oh, man. Okay. Thank you very much for your time and for talking with me. Okay, but also Phoenix Wright accused her of murder multiple times. So, like, I mean, he accused her of murder multiple times because she left behind evidence, because she tampered with the body.
It was no big deal. I couldn't sleep anyway.
I can't sleep either. Not with my situation. Or with what I know now. Ah, there we go. Ah, damn, that's still... In fairness, I did... Because if we look at like the almost 2.5 hours, I think a half hour of that was just talking about stuff. Oh, let's save. You did it. You meant to come down here. Oh, what is this? You meant to come down here and defend me against these characters. The only one I've got on my side is this blood-sucking lawyer. Thanks, lady. I'm having a very bad day. I don't know how that's going to make me react things, so don't push your luck. You did it. Go to bed. Go to bed. Yeah, I really should. Okay. 4-1. Oh man. I guess let's go and do this little bit of aftercare at the end. I can't believe. I didn't remember this having that in there. It's really funny that it comes up. Man, the little the fact that these 2 weeks I've kind of lost not being able to stream much means that this is going to basically go throughout the rest of October, which is fine. These final 2 trial days might be long enough that it might still be 2 streams left. But they might not too. But this investigation went quite a while. But yes, I am exhausted. I think I will listen to all this good advice. Thanks for being there. But it was nice to get through this. It was nice to meet a new person. Speak for yourself, Dale. All of you go to bed. Soon we should confront what it means to be a lawyer when you actually have a guilty client, but you know that what your job is to defend your client. But until then, thanks for hanging out with me. Good night, one and all.